working in the spirit of the Golden Empire. This is 17 News at noon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maddie Jansen. We begin with your 17 Court Watch. This morning, Leslie Chance took the stand in her own defense, emphatically denying that she killed her husband. 17's Vanessa Dillon was there, and she's live at the courthouse this afternoon now with more as court takes a break. Vanessa?
Good afternoon, Maddie. Emotions were high inside the courtroom this morning. Now, Leslie Janae Chance, the former elementary school principal accused of murdering her husband, Todd Chance, back in 2013, took the stand, and emotions were high. She quickly began to get emotional, crying when her defense attorney, Tony Lidgett, asked her immediately if she had killed her husband, to which she answered in between tears, no, that she had been waiting to answer that for 6 years, and she finally got that opportunity inside the courtroom this morning. Now, our cameras were not allowed in court, but I can tell you all eyes were glued to Chance when she took the witness stand. She seemed calm and unshaken as she answered every question from her attorney, Tony Lidgett. Lidgett spent most of the morning showing Chance photos of family vacations in 2013, the summer before her husband was killed. She didn't hesitate to smile, even at times gently giggling at the photos of her husband and 2 daughters. Now, among those photos were detailed images of the 3 vacations the Chance family took months prior to the killing. Lidgett asked if she knew about text messages and photos that were exchanged between her husband, Todd, and his former fiancée, Carrie Williams. Chance said she had no idea about those text messages, and that could be important because one prosecution theory is that Chance killed her husband because he had rekindled the old flame with the former fiancé. Now, before I also stepped outside the courtroom, Lidgett did ask her what she was doing the morning that Todd Chance was found dead near an orchard. And she did say that she had woken up and then he had woken up that morning. And we will have the very latest as well in our 5 and 6 o'clock newscast later today. But for now, reporting live outside the courtroom, I'm Vanessa Dillon. I will send it back to you, Maddie.
Thank you, Vanessa. And just again to remind our viewers, our cameras are not allowed inside the courtroom. And as Vanessa mentioned, she and our digital reporter, Jason Katowski, have been sitting in during the trial. And you can follow along live with that testimony on our KGET Twitter page and find all of our past coverage on the Chance murder case. Go to KGET.com. Meantime, a highly anticipated Board of Supervisors meeting to discuss new regulations on oil is happening in a little under 2 hours. It's expected to be standing room only as locals in the oil industry and law enforcement come out to talk face-to-face with state officials. But that's not the only viewpoint that will be represented. 17's Aton Wallace is live ahead of a news conference with the Center on Race, Poverty, and the Environment. Representatives with CRPE are pushing in favor of a move away from oil and gas dependency. Aton?
Yeah, Maddie, the big question on everybody's mind, what will the future of oil in Kern County look like? And let me step out of frame here. You can already see tons of people. I count at least 36 people have turned out for this meeting. You also can see chairs set up in the lobby here, something that I've never seen in all my year and a half of covering the Board of Supervisors. Chairs for an overflow room here covering the Board of Supervisors meeting. Now, hundreds are expected to gather here at the board chambers today, each with their own vision of what oil capital of California should look like in the coming years. Last year, Governor Gavin Newsom imposed new regulations on the oil industry, including a ban on new permits for steam-injected oil drilling and new regulations on fracking projects. Kern County produces 134 million barrels of oil per year, accounting for nearly 75% of California's oil production, making us the top oil-producing county in the state and one of the highest in the nation. Now, these regulations, oil industry supporters say, could significantly impact the roughly 23,500 people either directly employed or associated with Kern's oil industry. So what may be the result of this meeting? Well, the Board of Supervisors can take a few actions on this. First, they can actually ask that an economic impact report be completed, be made. They can also declare an economic state of emergency. Meantime, as Maddie mentioned, in the next half hour, we are expecting the Center on Race, Poverty, and the Environment to hold a press conference. That will take place at 12:30. We will bring that to you on our Facebook Live, on Facebook Live, on the KGET Facebook account. And if you want to get here to the Board of Supervisors meeting, just know it starts at 2 o'clock. And as you can see, a lot of people are already showing up, so be sure to get here early. Reporting live downtown, Eitan Wallace, 17 News.
Thank you, Eitan. National news now. The House of Representatives is scheduled to vote tomorrow on sending 2 articles of impeachment against President Trump to the Senate. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi met privately with House Democrats about the next steps today, almost a month after they voted to impeach President Trump on charges of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. Mrs. Pelosi issued a written statement saying, in part, the American people deserve the truth and the Constitution demands a trial. The House will now proceed with a vote on transmitting the articles of impeachment and naming impeachment managers on Wednesday, January 15th. Once the articles are transferred, the Senate will begin its impeachment trial for only the 3rd time in U.S. history. Let's check out our forecast now. Started off pretty chilly out there again this morning, Kev.
And it's nice and clear out there. A little bit of a haze that we'll see throughout the day. But temperatures are expected to climb back into the 50s. As we take a look at the satellite, and nothing really to show you. We're expecting clear skies as we go throughout the day. 54 degrees on the temperature for Bakersfield right now. We have a light wind out of the west-northwest at 3. And as we take a look at the day, mid-50s by 3 o'clock, and then dipping back into the 40s right around 9 o'clock. And then for the mountains, we're looking at 40s this afternoon before we're back into the 30s as we go throughout the evening. I'll have much more on your forecast. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Kevin. Well, it's been a rough week for small businesses in Bakersfield after a series of break-ins. Yesterday morning, a thief hit Sugar Daddy's clothing store on Stockdale Highway and California Avenue in southwest Bakersfield. Owner Heidi Shubin says the burglar took electronics, cash, and even a stack of mail. Now she has a message for him.
To me, it might be somebody that's in their addiction, that's looking for quick money. I'm a recovering addict. I've been clean 13 years, and there's help. If it's mental health, drug addiction, alcoholism, there's help out there. Don't come and take it from people that are hardworking people that only give back to the community and don't want anything in return, but we sure don't deserve to have this happen to us.
Less than 10 minutes after that burglary, a thief smashed the glass door at Cherry Blossom Bouquets just down the road. The owner says he took the cash register drawer and ransacked the place. And the Bakersfield Police Department is also investigating another break-in at the bra shop in Northwest Bakersfield. Owner Elizabeth Sotelo tells 17 News someone busted the window of the store just after 10 Saturday morning and stole lingerie, among other items. Democratic candidates take the stage in just a few hours for the first debate of the new year with the sparsest stage yet. As candidates dwindle, we'll have a look at the matchups coming up. Welcome back. This morning, the Kern County Board of Supervisors recognized January as National Human Trafficking Awareness Month. And just a few minutes ago, they marked it by ringing the Kern County Liberty Bell. 17's Amber Frias is live in front of the Superior Court building and joins us with a look. Amber.
Maddie, throughout the last 2 years, the Department of Human Services, has received over 175 referrals for human trafficking and child exploitation. And of those referrals, they've identified over 200 child victims. Now, today is a day to raise awareness on the issue and educate our community about the signs to look out for in human trafficking, which is a big issue, again, here in our community. Now, in fact, here in our state of California, according to data from the National Human Trafficking Hotline, our state leads the nation in reported human trafficking cases. In 2018, California accounted for nearly 1,700 cases of the 10,000 total reported nationwide. Now, young girls and women are often the victims. They are 55% of the forced labor victims and 98% of sex trafficking victims. Now, we talked to Erin Gillespie with the Department of Human Services about the importance of raising awareness on the issue. This is what she had to say.
We're here today because January is Human Trafficking Awareness Month, and we just want to make the community aware of this awful epidemic that is plaguing our community today. We want the community to understand that human trafficking is not a victimless crime. It happens to all walks of life and is happening to our children right here in Kern County.
Now, a press conference is scheduled to start just in a few minutes with various human trafficking experts from across our county. We'll listen in and have a full report on your 17 News at 6. But for now, I'm live from downtown Bakersfield. Amber Freya, 17 News.
Thank you, Amber. 17 News is your local election headquarters, and 6 Democrats take the stage in Des Moines tonight for the first debate of the new year and the last one before the Iowa caucuses next month. There seems to be a bit of a squabble between 2 longtime friends, both trying to hold their place as front runner in the race. NBC's Peter Alexander has more from Washington.
Win by getting out there.
Heading into tonight's debate, a battle is brewing between the 2 leading progressives. Elizabeth Warren confirming reports about a private meeting in 2018 with Bernie Sanders. Writing in a statement overnight, among the topics that came up was what would happen if Democrats nominated a female candidate. I thought a woman could win. He disagreed. Warren contradicting Sanders, who hours earlier denied the accusation, telling NBC News, "It is ludicrous to believe that at the same meeting where Elizabeth Warren told me she was going to run for president, I would tell her that a woman could not win. Do I believe a woman can win in 2020? Of course." The 2 recently exchanging criticism after Politico reported the Sanders campaign instructed its volunteers to portray Warren as the candidate of elites in conversations with voters.
Reconsiders and turns his campaign in a different direction.
I have never said a negative word about Elizabeth Warren, who is a friend of mine.
The simmering tensions coming less than 3 weeks before the first presidential contest in Iowa. In stark contrast to the first Democratic debates, tonight's duel in Des Moines features just 6 candidates. And new polls show just how close it is, with the latest from Monmouth University showing Joe Biden out front ahead of Sanders, Pete Buttigieg, and Warren. Perhaps the most striking finding of that latest Iowa poll, that 3 in 5 likely Iowa caucus goers say they could still change their mind before next month's contest. Tonight, of course, much of the focus will be on Warren and Sanders, even as Warren tried to downplay the drama, noting that they have been friends and allies for a long time, adding that she is confident they'll continue to work together to defeat Donald Trump. I'm Peter Alexander for NBC News at the White House.
All right, let's check out that forecast once again on this Tuesday afternoon.
And it is beautiful. We're going to take you out to Tehachapi and the Adventist Health Cam there. And you can see a few high clouds in the far distance, but overall a nice, beautiful start to the afternoon out of the Tehachapi area. And things could change, though, as we head into about Thursday. We're going to get into that in just a minute. Right now, Wasco, 54 degrees and sunny skies. Arvin, also in the mid-50s. Frazier Park, you can see the blue skies there. Dry and 52 there. And then Golden Hills. We've got a beautiful shot and 45 degrees. Right now, Bakersfield sits at 54 with a light wind out of the west-northwest at 3 miles per hour. Overnight, we were at 34, so slightly below the normal 39. Normal high today, 56. The record of 74, set back in 1938. And temperatures again into the 50s as we head into the afternoon here. 40s and 50s out of the mountains. Tehachapi at 46. 53 now out of Ridgecrest. They were in the 20s earlier. Not much to show you. There are a few high clouds trying to approach the Delano area to the north. But that is it. And if you're traveling south over the Grapevine, I-5 at Fraser Mountain Road, looking good. And you can see the blue skies above. Here's a look at the regional view, and I expanded a little more to the north because we got some snow out of the Pacific Northwest right now and into Northern California. So this is going to continue to bring some weather that direction, and then sliding south is another system as we head into Thursday. And you can see here in our Futurecast model, they are suggesting it comes in right around the afternoon hours on Thursday. This model is still consistent with right around a 4 o'clock time frame, and then it will slide through and hang on through early Friday morning, and then we'll see some clouds into Friday and Saturday. How much rain? Well, right now, model suggesting right around 3/10 of an inch for most valley locations, except out on the west side for Taft and also Lost Hills, about a quarter, and we could be looking at a little bit of snow. And this just upgraded not long ago. So we now, instead of a winter storm watch, have a winter storm warning for areas in the higher elevations of the Kern River Valley. So we'll be watching for some snowfall there, and the wind advisory out in the desert until 10 o'clock tonight. So here's what we can expect on the weather headlines. Sunny, mild for today, and then the next rain and snowmaker will come in Thursday morning to the north, and by the afternoon swing in our direction in most locations of Kern County. Between 1/4 and 3/10 of an inch, and snow between 2 inches and 24. I know that's kind of a big gap. Here's what we're looking at right now. 12 to 24 inches for areas like Alta Sierra, 3 to 5 inches possibly in the Bear Valley Springs area, and then 2 to 3 inches in the higher elevations near Pine Mountain Club. Right now, I don't think downtown Tehachapi will see any snow, and it'll be kind of a stretch for the downtown Frazier Park area. We're going to have to watch the snow levels carefully as we go throughout the next 24 hours here. Air quality will be good today with an AQI at 50. It will call for sunny skies, and 56 in Bakersfield, 55 in McFarland, and 50s out on the west side as well. For the mountains, a little bit on the windy side for you today. We're going to be right near 45 in Frazier Park, 47 in Tehachapi, 54 for Lake Isabel and Kernville at 55. Winds could gust right around 60. And then that wind advisory into the desert with winds gusting near 65 miles per hour. 55 today in Mojave. Your extended forecast. There's a chance of rain on Thursday, lingering into early Friday morning. And then for the weekend, we may see some morning fog. So if you're going to be heading out, keep that in mind. And then for the mountains, there you go. The chance of rain and snow showers Thursday into early Friday. Snow level about 4,500 feet, possibly down to 4,300 feet. As we head into Friday morning, and then some clouds on Saturday. 40s and 50s on the highs, and then for the Kern River Valley, same situation coming in Thursday into early Friday. So again, things can change on a dime, and that's what we're seeing right there on the watches and warnings. It was a winter storm watch, now upgraded to a winter storm warning. So that graphic will change tonight for the 5 and 6.
All right, we'll keep watching it. Thanks, Kev. There are a lot of things you might want to cut out in the new year, including debt. We'll have some tips on how to revamp your finances in 2020.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Back now on your 17 Business Watch, the Dow Jones Industrial Average rose in volatile trading today to hit an all-time high as JP Morgan Chase led bank shares higher on the back of strong quarterly results. Right now, the Dow up 13 points so far in trading. It was up 76 earlier this morning. The Nasdaq is down 12 points. The S&P 500 down 3. Checking out oil prices while we're at it. West Texas Intermediate selling for $58.37 a barrel. And Midway Sunset started the day at $62.29 a barrel. Millions of people are set to lose tech support and protection for their PCs and laptops today. Microsoft launched Windows 7 back in 2009. Starting today, the company says it will no longer support the operating system. That means it won't issue any more updates or any software patches that could prevent cyber attacks and viruses. Also happening today, Windows 7 users can no longer get technical support from Microsoft. If you have a computer less than 3 years old, you can pay to upgrade to Windows 10. Upgrades start at $139. If your computer's more than 3 years old, Microsoft suggests buying a new one. According to Net Applications data from December, more than 32% of all laptops and desktops still run on Windows 7. Americans are putting more money in their 401k retirement accounts. According to data from the Plan Sponsor Council of America, in 2018, workers put an average of 7.7% of their pay into 401ks. That's up nearly a full percentage from 2 years earlier. That might not sound like a big increase, but it can have a noticeable impact over time. For a 35-year-old making $60,000 a year, putting an extra 1% into a retirement account could mean an additional $85,000. Businesses are also increasing their 401k matches and profit-sharing money as they compete for quality employees in the tight job market. It is only the middle of January, but many people are already starting to see cracks in all of those New Year's diet and exercise resolutions. But it's not too late to make a different kind of change this year, losing debt instead of weight. Steve Wolford has a story.
Credit card debt in America has always been a problem, but it's a growing problem.
And according to financial expert Mike Pequeen, the Christmas shopping season often leads to serious damage.
Around the holidays, the temptation to use credit cards is overwhelming. But what most people don't realize is that the average American has between $4,000 and $6,000 in credit card debt, and they're probably paying around 17% interest on that debt.
That means to pay off your $6,000 credit card debt in 24 months at 17% interest, your payments will be about $296 a month. and you'll have paid an additional $1,100 just in interest.
The interest is what kills you. Paying $800 or $1,000 a year in credit card interest is really harming most people's personal finances.
And getting a pay raise in 2020 may not help.
The more money you make, the credit card agencies know that, and they send you more credit card offers. So just realize that you have to avoid the temptation because we have $1 trillion in credit card debt.
Here's another way to think about your credit card debt. You buy something on sale at 15% off, and you charge it on your credit card with that 17% interest rate. Pequeen says, do the math.
You're losing if you spend money on a credit card and you don't pay the balance off.
And beware of credit cards that offer points and cash back.
It's really just bait. Credit card offers and points are to get you to use the credit card because credit cards are very, very, very profitable to the issuing companies. So the little bit they give you back in points is nice and it's fun, but it doesn't come close to cutting into the profit they make off of you.
Experts say the best choice is to always pay off the credit card debt each month. That way, companies can't charge you interest. And some people are switching to using their debit card instead, so they never spend more cash than they have in the bank. Still ahead, a popular gift and an unwanted reaction. What a young Virginia girl got for Christmas that definitely wasn't on her list. We're back now on your 17 Health Watch. Are you having problems sticking to your New Year's resolutions? Well, if one of your resolutions was to give up smoking or vaping, here are some tips to help you stay on track. One of the first things you should do is have a support group in place. Experts from Baylor College say since relapse is common, you need to have people around you who can keep you on track. Also, avoid being around other smokers or going to places where a lot of people will be smoking. Instead, doctors say try and find new activities like exercise or spend time with friends who don't smoke. And finally, consider over-the-counter medications that can help with nicotine withdrawal and do not turn to e-cigarettes. You've probably seen all of the different brands of face sheet masks in the beauty aisle, but one Virginia mom has a warning after her daughter got an unintended reaction from this Yes To vitamin C glow boosting unicorn paper mask. After a few minutes, she says her face started burning and turning red. Her mom discovered that particular mask had multiple bad reviews online. The company responded with a statement saying, in part, we apologize to anyone who was affected in this way, and the safety and satisfaction of our customers are our main concerns. We've decided to pull this particular product off the shelves while we investigate the complaints. When we come back here on 17 News at noon, supervisors honor some local high school champions.
Welcome back. Finally at noon, the Board of Supervisors honored the Bakersfield Christian High School football team early this morning.
The Eagles won the CIF Division 3A state championship game last month. The board presented a certificate of recognition to the team and coach Darren Carr.
It doesn't happen without a strong sense of commitment, brotherhood, of working together, of leadership, of followership, of people who are willing to commit to a sense of excellence and to commit each other to that same cause. And that's not easy to do today. And it's so remarkable to have that when that happens, that these young men will have that opportunity to rejoice and celebrate that for the rest of their lives.
Again, a big congratulations to the Eagles. That's all for us here on 17 News at noon. We'll see you back tonight at 5 and 6.